can I be free of that? Right? So the answer on that is that you can't. You can't. It's impossible. So you might get some books, how-to books, and you go to seminars. Someone will promise you that this method or that method or meditation or mindfulness. To those tools you will be able to handle your mental chatter. So still, what I'm saying. Meditation is, the essence of meditation is to focus on, say, your breath or a candle so much that you are being in the present moment. So you give such a focused attention to your breath that the thoughts, the chatter of your mind would cease to exist. That would be like ultimate result of meditation. You get present and there's no chatter, there's no thoughts are coming, or at least there's a spaces between your thoughts, spaces of silence. And thoughts will show up. And all meditators know that they do. And then you have to, again, bring your attention back to the candle. So your thoughts come to your mind, oh, I'm thinking again. Now the candle. Oh, the thoughts, now the candle. So that's a practice. Right? It might be better than doing nothing at all, right? Over the period of time, doing extensive meditation and mindfulness, you will experience your mind as being more quiet. But the self, the me, that fuels all this thinking process will not disappear that way, will not be dissolved. And the experience between knowing you and the world out there will not disappear. And that's
the one to look at.
That's something that is possible. That's something that who we truly are, actually. We are that one thing. And as long as there's a self in the world, we are still living in duality and we are deluded. And that deluded space, those invasions will continue and the whole process going on. So the only real tool, if I may call it a tool, is that telescope, that awareness, that attention, that contemplation which we are doing right now. It's more contemplation than meditation. It's contemplation.
It's looking into.
Yeah, it's looking into.
The eyes, looking into the eyes of that false self.
Yeah. It's like...
And calling it for what it is, really.
It's contemplation / meditation. The contemplation must be a huge part of it. You contemplate your own beingness. You contemplate your experience of being alive. To the point that like, you suddenly feel like, what is this experience of being alive? You suddenly, like a child, like, what the hell is going on? This is so mysterious. This is so unbelievable, unexplainable, unknowable, mysterious, wondrous, right? The wonderment has to take over, right? The wonderment of existence. It's like a child's wonderment, right? It has to take over your life. And that's you. The wonderment is you, not the self. The self is an imposter.
So you're not your ego identity, you're not your false self. You're that purity that you were as children in wonderment of what this life is all about.
Yeah, you're just nothing but wonderment. The wonderment was there, and that was you. And that wonderment was covered. And the cover we call of wonderment, we call it our self, our me, you know. And our me now projects all its ideas and beliefs into life and covers the reality. And the reality is the wonderment itself, you know. And through wonderment, in imagination, everything is available. The world, the reality.
There's no limitation.
The reality is available.
Miracles are possible.
The reality will nurture you, empower you, heal you, provide you with everything, and that reality is God. That reality is God, and that reality is you, and that reality is wonderment. So
I feel like wonderment is the portal to God.
Wonderment is the portal, and wonderment is destination, and wonderment is this is you. You are it, and it will awaken out of observation. It will awaken. I mean, in the East it is called enlightenment. Yes, it is. It's just like light. Knowing yourself as light, you know, light that illuminates the existence. It's like suddenly everything is illuminated, and then only then you realize, like, wow, how did I live in that darkness?
It's like you come into the room and just turn on the switch, and it's suddenly, my God, what life is all about. That's what I've been deprived of my entire life.
And the all problems of our life is that we live in the darkness, and when we move in the darkness, we hit all the. Imagine if you are in a dark room, you hit a chair, you want to move.
You get bruised all the time.
You got bruised. You hit
life.
your head against the chandelier. You know, whatever. You know, you are suffering in the darkness because you need to move, and yet. Your movement
but you're walking in the blind.
In the blind is constricted. Your movement is constricted, and you don't realize that actually you live in the basement of a castle, and you got stuck in that basement of a tremendous castle, and you're in the darkness because light is off.
That's an amazing analogy, and this is something for the next program that I want to go into, because we had a discussion about that.
We will talk about how can we get out of the basement into the castle, the rest of the castle. This is just the basement. You were born in the basement, and it got dark, and at the beginning when you are born, light was there. You are born into light. But then with all the concepts and all these ideas and all indoctrination of your mind, it became darker and darker.
You entered into darker and darker world and getting more and more blind.
Yeah, it's almost like the light in the basement was dimmed gradually. You did notice it so gradually.
That's such a great analogy.
1-year-old, 2-year-old, 3-year-old, 4-year-old, 5-year-old, and then you end up in teenage crisis. In the best time of your life, the most glorious, your body is so strong, you are so healthy, everything just to enjoy life to the most. And there's a teenage crisis. So, you know what I'm saying? So why? Because the light was down completely. Now that teenager is in the darkness, he doesn't know where he is, what it is, but in reality, he is in the basement of the tremendous castle. Now, if light will be turned back, he will find his way out, and he will find light into these tremendous spaces of the castle,
and the potential and the
through
possibilities.
this colorful stained glass, light and beauty, and the gardens of the castle.
So we want to know how you plan to come out of that dark basement into your castle, into your kingdom. How you think you can turn that electron microscope we're talking about inward.
And please let us know if this contemplation, our mutual contemplation, made you a dent lighter. Did it make you lighter?
Did it make you lighter?
You know, did
Did
you
it raise
feel
more questions? Did it answer more questions?